On June 28, 2025, all eyes will be on the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, as Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. step into the ring for what promises to be one of the most talked about fights of the year. This isn't just another flashy event designed to generate clicks and views. This bout has been officially sanctioned as a professional contest by the California State Athletic Commission. That means it will follow all the regulations and standards expected in a traditional boxing match. A licensed referee will oversee the action, official judges will score each round, and the final result will be added to both fighters' professional records. For Jake Paul, it's another opportunity to prove that he's more than just a viral personality dabbling in the sport. For Chavez Jr., it's a shot at redemption and a chance to remind fans of his championship pedigree. Jake Paul's involvement in boxing has long sparked debate. While his early fights were often dismissed as entertainment spectacles, he has been relentless in his pursuit of validation within the sport. This upcoming showdown with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. represents a significant step forward in that journey. Unlike his earlier exhibition bouts, this fight carries real consequences both in terms of legacy and official record. The matchup will be conducted under full professional rules, 10 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes, with 1-minute breaks in between. The scoring will be done using the standard 10-point must system, where the winner of each round is awarded 10 points, while the loser typically receives 9 or fewer if penalized for knockdowns or fouls. This is not a modified or novelty fight, it's the real deal. The fight is also stirring up plenty of intrigue because of the contrasting paths the two fighters have taken. Jake Paul, who rose to fame through social media and YouTube, has managed to flip the script and position himself as a serious contender. With a current record of 11 wins and just 1 loss, Paul is coming off a notable win against boxing icon Mike Tyson. That bout, although held under professional rules, had a few differences such as shorter 2-minute rounds and larger gloves, weighing 14 ounces. Still, it was enough to show the world that Paul could hang in the ring with a legend. Now, with the rules fully aligned with standard professional boxing, Paul is aiming to prove that victory wasn't a fluke, and that he belongs among legitimate fighters. As for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he enters this fight with far more traditional boxing credentials. The son of Mexican legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Chavez Jr. has compiled a professional record of 54 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw over the course of his career. He has held world titles and shared the ring with some of the sport's most recognizable names. However, in recent years, his reputation has taken a hit. There have been questions about his motivation, discipline, and overall consistency. This bout against Jake Paul could be a turning point, a chance to show that, with proper training and focus, he still has what it takes to perform at a high level. Chavez Jr. is no stranger to the cruiserweight division either, having last fought at this weight in July 2024 against former UFC fighter Uriah Hall. Leading up to the fight, Jake Paul has been doing what he does best, generating headlines and stirring controversy. He has aimed verbal shots at Chavez Jr., questioning his discipline and experience, and claiming that the Mexican fighter lacks the focus needed to compete seriously. It's classic Jake Paul promotion: loud, provocative, and aimed at getting under his opponent's skin. But beyond the trash talk, Paul has also been putting in the work. To meet the 200-pound cruiserweight limit, he had to shed nearly 6 kilograms, having bulked up significantly for his previous training camps. This kind of weight cut speaks to a level of commitment and seriousness that his critics often claim he lacks. Paul appears to be taking this fight very seriously, knowing full well that a loss to Chavez Jr. would put a major dent in his credibility. The stakes for Chavez Jr. are equally high, if not higher. Unlike Paul, who is still building his boxing resume, Chavez Jr. is a fighter who's seen the highs of championship success and the lows of public scrutiny. His last few performances have been underwhelming, and many fans have written him off as someone who never quite lived up to the expectations that came with his last name. But boxing is a sport where reputations can change overnight. A strong showing against a high-profile opponent like Jake Paul could reignite interest in his career and re-establish him as a serious competitor. It would also send a powerful message that the fundamentals of traditional boxing still matter in an era increasingly influenced by spectacle and social media hype. In many ways, this fight is a collision of two different worlds. Jake Paul represents the new age of boxing, a world where personality, promotion, and digital presence carry as much weight as physical skill. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., on the other hand, is a symbol of boxing's old guard where lineage, technique, and in-ring experience are the pillars of success. Their bout on June 28th won't just be a contest of punches, it will be a clash of identities, ideologies, and expectations. Whether it ends in triumph or disappointment for either man, one thing is certain: this fight will have consequences far beyond the final bell. Both fighters are walking into the ring with something to prove, and neither can afford to walk out empty-handed. The anticipation surrounding this fight isn't just coming from hardcore boxing fans, it's drawing attention from mainstream sports media, casual viewers, and even celebrity circles. Jake Paul has become a master of blurring the line between sport and entertainment, attracting millions of viewers who might not typically tune into a traditional boxing match. His bouts are often marketed like blockbuster events, complete with viral promos, dramatic weigh-ins, and behind-the-scenes footage that amplifies the build-up. This approach has undeniably shifted the landscape of modern boxing promotion, with Chavez Jr. now in the spotlight alongside him. The upcoming fight has the kind of buzz and media weight that most boxing purists never expected to see in a matchup. Featuring these two very different fighters, beyond the glitz and drama, there's a serious conversation unfolding in boxing circles about what this fight could mean for the sport's future. Some believe Jake Paul's involvement is helping to inject new life and younger fans into a sport that struggled with declining viewership in recent decades. Others argue that these matchups diminish the credibility of boxing, turning it into a circus more than a competition. The Chavez Jr. fight presents a chance to strike a middle ground where entertainment value and professional standards coexist. If Paul can win under official rules against a former champion, it might start changing the minds of those who have doubted his place in the sport. Meanwhile, Chavez Jr. has an opportunity to reclaim some of the respect that slipped through his fingers over the years. Once considered a promising torchbearer for his father's legacy, his career has been marred by inconsistency, public disputes with promoters, and questions about his work ethic. This fight gives him a national platform to silence critics and remind the world that he still has fighting spirit and skill. More importantly, it allows him to do so against an opponent who, while not a traditional boxer, has become one of the most recognized figures in the sport. Beating Jake Paul, who has a strong fan base and a growing resume, would be no small feat, and could offer Chavez Jr. the boost he desperately needs. The psychological edge may also play a crucial role on fight night. Jake Paul has shown time and again that he thrives under pressure and uses mind games to throw off his opponents. From intense stare-downs to viral jabs on social media, he understands how to control the narrative leading up to a fight. Chavez Jr., on the other hand, has been known to be emotionally reactive, which could either fuel his performance or disrupt his focus. How each man handles the mental strain leading up to the first bell might be just as important as their physical preparation. With millions watching and reputations on the line, composure will be critical. Training camps for both fighters have also taken a more intense tone, with both sides treating the event as a must-win battle. Reports suggest Jake Paul has brought in serious sparring partners and strength trainers to ensure he's prepared for a longer, more demanding fight than some of his earlier outings. Meanwhile, insiders close to Chavez Jr. have indicated that he's taken this camp more seriously than usual, possibly recognizing that this could be one of his last big chances to prove he still belongs in the sport's upper tiers. The results of all this preparation will be on full display on fight night, and any signs of conditioning issues or lapses in technique will be quickly exposed under professional scrutiny. As June 28th approaches, one thing is abundantly clear: this is not just another gimmick match. The fight between Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has taken on a significance that stretches well beyond the ring.